Public art displays are a very big trend in major cities all over the world, really, and now in small and mid-sized towns, too. Gabi Torres is an artist from Clinton who's making it happen in her town this summer, and we're so excited, Gabi, to see your stuff.
Thank you.
Congrats
yes,
on this.
Thank you so much.
Look at you. So, did you grow up in Clinton?
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Clinton, Iowa. It is my hometown, and I lived in New York City for several years, and I lived in Seoul, South Korea for 6 years.
Oh my.
And after all of that, I decided that Clinton was where I wanted to be.
Wow.
And so, yeah.
For New York, Seoul, and Clinton.
Yeah.
So let's look at the Grove. So this is a free outdoor exhibit.
Yes.
And so this is big art.
This is big art.
Yeah.
So, okay, yep. So that's me with the team there. And so what's been really interesting and really amazing about this process is just the teamwork across different, working with the city, working with my woodworker, Tim Fuller of Retired with Wood, to make frames, Steve Pearson from Upholstery Unlimited to create these canvases that are specific to being outdoors. So all of us coming together to create these pieces for so our community can have public art.
I think sometimes when we think of public art, we think only of the mural that is painting on a building.
Right.
But this isn't that's not what you do.
No. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to create something where people could have a really immersive experience with the art. And so, and a lot of times when you think about art, you think about going to a museum or gallery and things are on the wall and you feel very separated. It's almost, you're not allowed to touch it, you can't be near it. And I wanted something that would be accessible in all forms, not just in a public place, but also just right there in front of you. And you can totally touch it if you want to.
So when we look at these, there you are standing by one of the, does this hold up to weather? Because we have every kind of weather here.
Yes.
In the middle of a thunderstorm, when it's pouring rain, it will be okay?
It should be okay, yeah. So the frames are, fingers crossed it's going to be okay. But everyone who's been involved in the project has been, that's obviously the first thing that came up when
the weatherproofing.
The weatherproofing, yes. And so the frames are, they are enormous. The tallest one is 10 foot tall. And so they range in size and they'll be placed sort of whimsically throughout the space to, encourage people to wander. And
well, you brought some tiny examples
of
your work.
These are tiny. This is how I started.
This is how I first started. You went from this to giant park size.
As big as I possibly can go, yes.
So it's, is it watercolor?
So these pieces are actually, yes, these are watercolor pieces, but then I shifted as I kind of kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I decided I wanted to use acrylic because acrylics you can really spread around. And it's just a lot easier to work with when you're working on canvas and that type of material. So so I went from tiny to as big as I can possibly go.
Yes, and so it will be out just this summer? Or what's the span of it?
So this project, it will be out, it goes up on June 9th is when it is open to the public. June 8th we're having an opening reception celebration that I'm very excited about. It'll be the sort of the launch party for it. And then it'll go up through the end of fall until the weather turns.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
So, Gabi, give us an idea then. If we're just driving through Clinton, where should we be to find find your stuff?
Yes. So you can find the Pocket Park display. The Grove is what it's called. That is at 125 4th Avenue South, and so in a place called Pocket Park. It's adjacent to the riverfront. It's right by our 5th Avenue, which is our main downtown drag. And then if people want to visit my studio or kind of drive by and see where the creation station officially is, that's at 83 Main Avenue in Clinton as well, in the Lions District. And I encourage everyone to come. It is an easy trip from the Quad Cities.
Sure.
And once you're there, you can, grab a glass of wine at the winery or coffee. There's so many great little shops and things to see while you're there. So I do hope people will make it out and just, have that experience and enjoy public art in a beautiful space.
All from the artist who has lived in Seoul, South Korea, and New York City, back in Clinton.
Yes.
And I can tell you're serious about your hometown and have a special love for it.
I do. I love
That's
it.
neat.
I do.
That's so great for you, Gabi, and great for us too.
Thank you.
So thank you for what you're sharing with all of us.
Oh,
with that.
It's my pleasure. I'm happy to do
Thanks,
it.
Gabi. We'll have to have you back and see what else what are you gonna do this winter?
Oh gosh.
I can't imagine, right?
More in store for sure.
I'll bet. All right, good. We'll see you then.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gabi.